Hello guys, so in this video we are going to see how to integrate a dynamic routing system into this project. So as you know, we have already integrated routing system to this project in previous videos, so we're gonna refactor that class to support dynamic routing, and so we're gonna see that. So before we start implementing the dynamic routing system, so let's talk about what is dynamic routing. And so dynamic routing is nothing but it's routing. Let's say if you have a user with ID 1 and you want to display that user, so technically what you have to do is you go to the route users /1. so this one is a dynamic, it can be 2, so it depends the user, so that's why it's called a dynamic, and it's called parameter of the route. So currently our routing system does not support this, so we're gonna refactor this routing class to support that routing system. So let's get started. So the first thing we gotta do is, firstly we gonna check for the static routes. So as you can see, we are checking in the routes array, which is multi-dimensional array, and if it is, then we're gonna pass it else. So in this, instead of throwing route not found exception, so we're gonna have to do some logic to get the dynamic routes. So the first thing is, so let's say dynamic equals to, so instead of instead of writing here all the logic, we're gonna use function to extract the dynamic routing for us. So let's do that. So solve what get dynamic route. So we're gonna pass the route and the URI, so routes and URI. So but this is what class variable, static variable, you have to, and method. So I'm gonna pass the one-dimensional array. So routes, this must be routes. So we are passing the one-dimensional array, which is related to that method we are visiting, so in the URI of course. So let's create this function real quick. So public function, okay, actually this doesn't have to be public, private, and static, this must be static, and so okay. So the first thing you have to start is you have to start to match with empty array. Then we have to define our pattern. So what I'm thinking is, okay, let's go to the routes view. So when we register our routes, so if this is our route, so in users slash, and just like this, id equals to zombies. So in our function we're gonna accept the id parameter and we're gonna pass this. So this kind of routing what I'm, so Now let's find to this pattern in the parameters. So pattern equals to, so we can say just like this, or we can say all simply just like this, and we have to hash this to not just like this. Okay, what we are going to see is, so find something just like this. So it's open curly brace, and no matter what it is, so it's match if it is what type it like this. Okay, so another thing is, let's look through the routes. So okay, we didn't accept the routes. Okay, okay, routes and array URI. So for each routes as route, so we're gonna check if it is matched. So if preg match, so preg match dollar pattern to route, and this mat, of course. So if it is matched, then we're gonna push to matched array. So match is, so what we're gonna push is the URI key. So let's push out URI of the key. So as you can see, we didn't have the key value, so what we can do is we can extract it from this. So we're gonna extract and push to match array. Okay, so after that, so what we're going to do is, actually before we can do that, so we kind of want to explode the routes. So actually the routes come in this format, right? Users and so on, with separated with slash. So we have to split it and explode it. Okay, so dollar route split equals to explode it with what, with a slash and the dollar key. Okay, to make go with key value pair, let's call it this value. Okay, then let's explode also the URI explode, oh, typo mistake, explode the URI. And now let's count these two things. Okay, this is the URI, I don't know. Okay, yeah, okay, oh, the URI is a string. Yeah, we pass the URI here, yeah, as a string, right? So this is string, yeah, so we So next thing we do is we're gonna count the route, so count route split, and we're gonna count the URI. So one thing we're gonna do is, if the count is not equal, so we're gonna pass it, yeah, our count not equals to what you count, we're gonna continue. You don't need to worry about other things because it doesn't even have the same links route, yeah. Okay, so if it have, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop out the first what array. Okay, when we explode here, if the route split is where just like this, okay, users slash what one, what it's going to do is it's going to create right split array, and the array look like this. Okay, what the 0 will be what 0, oh my god, 0 will be the slash part, and I mean 0 will be empty, yeah, and 1 will be users, yeah, and 2 will be the 1, yeah, just like this. So we don't want 0 to be empty string, so we're gonna shift that array. Don't know. Okay, so let's array shift route split and array shift URI split. So we're gonna shift that. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna check if the route and the URI are matched. So route matched equals to, so again we don't need to specify this logic here, so we're going to use another method. So solve get matched routes. Okay, so let's create this method real quick. So private static oh oh my god. Okay, let's go and see what my GitHub Copilot did. Okay, we're gonna accept the route split and the URI split. So we're gonna start by one. Okay, to make sense, yeah, let's do it. We're gonna start by making assume that the route is matched. Okay, then what we are going to do is, instead of this, what we are going to do is, okay, no, instead of this, we're gonna define our pattern, which will have just like this, the previous one. So we're gonna have the parameters, we're gonna extract the parameters, and now for each route split, route splits. Okay, to be more realistic, let's change that routes, yeah, and URI, yeah, just like this. Okay, routes as key and route, yeah, key and route. So as key and route, so if prig match, yeah, prig match the pattern, yeah, the pattern and the route is matched and there is mat with it. So if this is matched, we're gonna append what the URI key, right? So we're gonna extract what means by this. If the user go to users /1, we're gonna take this parameter and append to the parameters array. Okay, then we're gonna continue to the next array element. So if the route, the URI key, $URI key is not equals to $route, okay, the match will be, the match will be false, and we're gonna break it. So this match is false. Okay, so let's get back to our first function and let's see. So if sun, okay, here we want to return the the parameters and the match, so we're gonna return an array. So matched and parameters, just like that. Okay, so if route matched of 0, then if it is matched, so gonna append to our match array. So match, route match of, so what we are going to do is we are going to append with this value, right? So val and here, and we're gonna extract the parameters only. Okay, these parameters only. Okay, so finally we return the matched array, return match, then okay, this will be array, right? So we have our dynamic routes. So after this, what we are going to do is we're gonna count the dynamic route. So as you can see, it can be more than one match. So if that is the case, we have an ambiguous or inappropriate route definition. So if there is and else, if right, there is an else. So else, obviously we're gonna throw route functions, and if count of dynamic is equals to 1, then it's good, but if it is greater than 1, so we're gonna throw a new exception, which is throw custom exception, custom ambiguous, there is an ambiguity. Okay, ambiguous route. So let's create this exception. Okay, real quick. So let's grab this and copy it. So ambiguous route, to not make spelling mistake, let's copy it, and yes, okay, so let's save it. Okay, so if it is greater than 1, there is an ambiguous route. If it is exactly 1, so we have a match. So let's assign that an action will be route 0 of 0, so, and which means this value, right, this value, and the parameters will be, let's pop out this value, then right, this value be pop out, and this remaining value will be the parameter. So as previous, we're gonna shift the array, we're gonna shift the array and we're gonna append two parameters, right? Okay, params, right? We're gonna append the parameters 0 0, right? Yeah. The first index of the first index. Okay, let's real quick define this parameter array, right? Okay, let's copy that and paste it. Parameters initially will be null or empty, so always we're gonna pass that parameter array to the functions when we call. So okay, where is the answer? Nice. So if we pass this, okay, it doesn't work because the parameters are appending with indexes, so we have to extract the index and send it. So if the parameter has index this, yeah, or it is greater than 0, its count is greater than 0, then send me the parameters, right? The parameters of 0, else the parameter, which means the empty parameter. So just like this. Okay, so also in here, so when we call our handler function, yeah, the action function, okay, so I think we have done it. So let's check it, right? So let's check it and okay, let's check it. What we are done. Route not found, ambiguous route. Did we define? Yes, I think so. Yeah, ambiguous. Oh, view not found. Well, the route defined ambiguous. Yeah, the routes defined are ambiguous. Yeah, so let's go to web PHP and yeah, so let's run our server. So PHP is local host 2000 index.php. Okay, so our developer server is running local host 2000. Okay, yeah, it's working. So let's go to this route. So the static routes are working, right? The static routes are working, these routes. So let's go to user routes and see what we have. Slash user, I think slash users, yeah, slash 1, yeah, it's array, right? We are passing the array, so there must be an error, right? So there must be not an array. Okay, there must be what? Let's see what we have done wrong here. Okay, we have pop out this and we have, okay, so let's echo out this, yeah, print dollar params and echo the what, echo pre function, yeah, pre. Let's see the array. Okay, 0. Okay, 0 when we pass this element, and we pass this element. We are passing 0 is equals to 1. So what did go wrong? What did go wrong? Okay, if there is a parameters, then pass parameters, 0 else parameters. So did we have an array of elements of 0 0? It's gonna be 1. Okay, I think there must be a mistake, so let's go here and check it. So id of 0, and voila, we get that. Okay, we are getting this as an array. I don't know what, but hey, it's working. So that's one thing. So if there is parameters, then we're gonna build them. So this is how we do the dynamic routing system, and so this pretty much okay. Let's make another confusing what test. Okay, let's make confusing, then yeah, some biggest exception must be, yeah, because this route definition is not appropriate, so some biggest exception must be thrown. So it works fine, I think so. Okay, right, so we have nice, we are okay. Let's type int this int and see what does happen. Okay, it's showing me error. Okay, let's try to send an okay, this is an array and we are sending array. I don't know why it's not working, but it's working, right? Yeah, so this is how you integrate routing, dynamic routing system to your project. I hope this video is helpful.